Hi, I'm Mike Marino, and this is a brand new episode of Live from My Mother's Basement. Hey, what's happening? Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another edition of Live from My Mother's Basement. And I got to tell you, it's been one hell of a year, 2024. All kinds of crazy stuff went on, and we're coming to... Well, I don't even know when we're going to add this episode, but I got to be honest with you. 2024 was just wild, crazy, out of control. Obviously, I didn't become president of the United States, but we're still in the basement. We're going to still do things. Right now, I have one of the funnest, greatest, coolest guests on my show. His name is Johnny Freda. Say hello, everybody.
Hi, everybody. How's everybody doing, all right?
We're doing
all
great.
Good here, all good.
This is an old school podcast today because we go way back, almost, well, I would say extreme childhood to an area that we talk about, but he'll talk about even more than I ever did, which is the Marion section of Jersey City, New Jersey, where I was born with my brother Paul, my brother Anthony, and of course my family was all there. I didn't think there was another area in the world other than Jersey City. It was a city that made you think that this is it. This is it. The rest of your life, this is it. Everybody knows everybody. You were safe, you were happy, and boy, did you eat good. Back in the day when Johnny and I were living on the block, we all lived on a street called Wallace Avenue. I can still remember the doorknob that said 6668 Wallace Avenue. 66 Wallace Avenue. That was my grandmother's apartment building on my father's side.
Half the side was 66, the other side was 68.
Yeah.
That's why it was 66, 68.
Is that right?
Yes.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I was 19 and a half. I was up the block.
I remember where you were.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Vaguely.
Yeah.
If I could say this, because he's going to tell the whole story, there was always kids on the block that you had, you had a lot of great friends. A lot of great friends.
To this day, we're friends.
To this day, you're still friends with pretty much everybody. However, there were some people that you were like scared of. Like maybe they were the bully, they were the tough guy, but somehow... Tough toe. I remember we got to talk about that because I always thought that was a dream that I had.
No, Anthony Grillo was tough toe.
And we're going to find out why they called him tough toe.
He was a little guy too.
Yeah, but I wanted to say you were the bully.
Not me.
I was scared of you.
Well, I used to push the car. Remember your father made that aluminum car?
A go-kart.
Yeah, a go-kart. And
aluminum?
Yeah.
Wood and wheels from a stroller.
Whatever it was, but it was beautiful though. Your father did a nice job. And you and your brother sat in the race car. It was like a race car. And I was the motor. I was in the back pushing. I remember this like it was yesterday.
Talking about the little rascals, huh? Oh, the good old days. All right, so John, we're pretty much the same age, right?
Yes. I'm 61.
Good. I'm a little younger.
Okay.
60 and a half. He lived up the block. It was a little bit of a hill.
But then it went downhill.
And then it went downhill.
After me.
That's where we had the go-kart.
Yeah.
Let him go. Oh, shit.
Any cars coming from Logan?
Yeah. So tell us about, let's go back even further. Your parents, were they born in Italy?
My parents were born in United States, Jersey. My grandmother and grandfathers, on both sides, were from Naples.
Naples. So you're Napolitan?
Napolitan, and I think my one set of parents was from Benevento. I don't know where that is.
Yeah, well, it's in
Italy.
There's another place called El Vento's, which is not there anymore.
No, that was the best.
El Vento's.
Pete was the best, man.
Oh man, the memories.
The pizza pie he used to make was unbelievable. The thin crust. Banging bar pie. This was before we were able to drink.
So many really great little places to eat, to mingle, to be part of, to be...
If you had money, you went to the Villa Capri. That was big money.
Isn't that funny? These days, Villa Capri wouldn't be that big of a deal.
Yeah, it wouldn't. But back then, we didn't know any better. Yeah, we were in our own little world. We didn't know anything outside our little world. We were trapped between the railroad tracks, which was the pant station, and the cemetery. And in between was the Marion section. You looked west, you had the Pulaski Skyway. It looked like the darkest cloud. every day we were under a dark cloud every day when you look to the west. And to the east, we just had a hill going to Journal Square. And it was only a 14-block radius, but we had everything. We had butchers, we had stores, we had Italian clubs, we had everything. Restaurants, catering halls, a cemetery. The names of the cemetery, people in the cemetery, were the same people on the block that was next to the cemetery. It was funny.
One of the craziest things is you're growing up on a street. So for you folks out there that don't know city life, or even knew that there was a city in New Jersey, which was specifically almost identical to Manhattan, only smaller, a lot smaller. Most people who lived in Jersey City commuted to Manhattan on a thing they called the PATH train. This is the path to New York. To spell it out for everybody who's in a different state or a different country watching the podcast, it was a PATH train to another state, believe it or not. To us, it was the PATH train to what we called the city. The city is Manhattan Island. Nobody ever would realize that was an island because it doesn't look like an island. It just looks like one of the biggest cities you've ever seen in your entire life, and probably is. So when you're a tiny little kid and you're growing up on this block, let's say, or many different blocks in this area called the neighborhood.
It was a neighborhood.
You pretty much thought that this was it.
It was it. We didn't know anything else. We didn't know anything else. We didn't know anything in Bergen County. We knew nothing. We grew up, we were all we knew. We didn't have to lock our doors at night, nothing. Everything was secure. We even had a watch, a neighborhood watch called Father, furnish a ride to help a neighbor. They had a radio, a car, they had everything to help everybody out in the neighborhood. It was a wonderful time back then, wonderful.
That I don't remember. This is what we remember, or that I remember. I don't know how many doors away John's house was, but that's the way my mother and father would say, it's 2 doors down, 4 doors down, 7 doors down, or up, which let you know where you're going.
He's above Frank's grocery store.
Right.
And the grocery store was smaller than his basement.
Imagine that was like a closet.
Yeah, it was amazing. And the food that came out of it, the Italian sausages, the homemade sausages, everything was brown bag. They used to add everything up with a pencil on the brown bag, and then you go home and check to see if they made any mistakes.
I remember if I came out my front door, back then we had what was called the stoop. You sat on the stoop. Your parents said to you, don't you leave that stoop. You leave that stoop, I'll kick the shit out of you. So you never left.
You didn't have to leave your stoop.
No, because everybody was there.
Everybody was deathly afraid of Angie Pangie.
Angie Pangie Gumaneri.
If you went on her porch, she'd throw out scalding hot water out the window and hit you. It was crazy.
Yeah, and that was okay because your parents would say, what did you do so bad that they had to throw hot water on you?
Right. You don't belong on her porch. Get off her porch.
Yeah. Don't go there.
But Ma, it's comfortable. It's better than our porch. Nah, you come and you just play on the street.
So if I came out my front porch, you were to the left if I was spacing the street, right?
I was above Frank's store.
Right. Wow.
That's up the street. I was 19 and a half. You were 66.
So there was 2 grocery stores, one Frank's up, and then there was one down by the end. What was that one?
I don't remember.
I remember going to that one quite often.
And they had the walk-in meat box. He was a butcher, too.
Yeah.
I remember that, yeah.
I remember if I came out my front porch, we're talking about a city where everybody's in your building. You know everybody in your building. And if you weren't related, you were related. So you go up to this place called Frank's. Now, you lived there a lot longer than I did.
Yes.
When I moved out of the city, I was 7. But we had to go there every weekend anyway because my grandmother lived there.
Sunday dinner.
Sundays.
And we were glad to see you. We welcomed you in with open arms.
That's right. We knew everybody's name on the block.
Right.
So if you went up to this place, Frank's, I remember going in there, a piece of gum, which was...
Bazooka bubble
was
gum.
A penny, unless you got 2 for a penny.
No, it was a penny, and then you had the They had the jelly rolls. Remember the chocolate-covered jelly rolls? Raspberry jelly rolls?
Yes.
They were 2 cents each.
Really?
And we thought they were expensive when they went from 1 penny to 2 pennies.
Yeah. You had to have money.
Yes. We used to return the Vigor soda bottles. They were 5 cents deposit.
Yeah, we brought the bottles back for the money.
We
got
took
the deposit.
money, and then we got all candy or chips.
Yeah.
You saved your bottles, go back there with about 10 bottles, and then you worked yourself up with all the candy.
I don't remember ever getting potato chips, but I do remember very specifically getting a roll that we called the pizza roll. It was a round roll, round.
Yeah, beets.
Yeah.
The round roll with a little hole in the middle. It's cut it in half and make a nice sandwich.
Had a hole in the middle.
Yep.
Looked like a donut.
Yeah.
The most delicious bread you ever had, but for some reason or other, my mother would say, go get a half dozen pizza rolls. We're gonna make sandwiches.
Yeah.
But if
it wasn't sandwiches, it was sandwiches.
Right, sandwich, we said.
Sandwich.
Right? But that was not the bread you got on a Sunday to have with your macaroni.
No.
And we said gravy, because that roll did not fit with that situation. You had to get either the Italian bread or the French bread.
If any of you ever had an Italian-style hot dog, that was the bread that they served on our pizza bread. They used to open it up. They cut it in half in the middle, open it up. They'd put the ketchup, they'd put the mustard, 2 hot dogs, sauce, peppers, onions, potatoes, and more ketchup and mustard. It was the best.
Oh, and you got it right there. You brought it home. I remember they would get like a nice... Sandwiches were always thick and fat, full of beef. They didn't spare nothing.
You
bought your cold cuts
for
there.
$1 a sandwich, $1.50 tops.
And you also got this lecture. Go there and tell the guy you'll pay him next week. And that was okay.
Put it in the book.
They remembered for some reason or other, somehow.
They had a book on the side of the register.
Oh, yeah?
Merino, $1.50.
$1.50.
And then it go down a scale. And then at the end of the week, your father went there, paid the bill, everything was done.
And it was cash.
Cash only.
I remember my mother would say, you go get it, whatever it was, bring it. And when you come back...
Tell Frank to put it on a bill.
Right. But you also got this. And you come right home.
Yeah.
Don't you talk to anybody. Come right home. And then at that time, you actually had a scooter made with a 2x4, fucked up iron roller skates on the bottom.
No, you took your skates from you used to skate. Remember you used to put your foot in it?
Yeah.
And then you tie them up?
Yeah.
Well, we used to break the skates in half.
Put one in the front, one in the back.
One in front and back of the 2x4. And then we used to take Frank's milk boxes, the wooden milk boxes, put that on top of the 2x4, and another 2x4 for a steering wheel. That was what we had to play with. Everyone had one of those.
And if you were cool, you had bottle caps from God knows how many bottles, and you nailed them to the top. Where you got the nails, I have no idea. You found it on the street.
Dapper.
Right.
Dapper Rio. His father used to collect a lot of nails and stuff. He did it. He did everything.
And then you made a shitload of noise skating down the street because it was louder than loud. There was no rubber whatsoever. Everybody knew where you were going.
And stay out of the street. Because the cars just come off the highway at 1 and 9.
Yeah.
And fly down Wallace Avenue. Yeah. Not like it was a freeway.
I remember one day a car went down the street really fast, and my father somehow took a push broom and threw it right at the car. Slammed right into the car. Car driver hit the brakes, backed up. There must have been 20 guys out of their houses in seconds.
Yep.
Just looked at that guy and said, "What's the fucking problem, pal? There's kids on the street."
Yep.
That was it. Guy just drove away.
Poor Johnny Boy, Chucky's brother, remember?
I was there.
He got hit by the car.
Let's not go there just yet.
Yeah.
Because we are going to talk about one very sad incident. Hopefully it was the only one, but
that was.
We were all there, and you felt it, man. It's disgusting. It's just, maybe we should just go ahead and get it out of the way.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. You know.
I never forget. I was carving.
Where were you? Because I was on the stoop.
I was in front of the mechanic building, the apartment building. I was carving my name in the street.
Really?
Yeah, remember we used to carve our name in the street?
Yeah. And it was
in front of Frank's lot. And they were screaming at me because I'm
because
fucking up the street.
The two, what was it? The asphalt.
Yeah.
Was like rubber for some reason.
Well, no, when it was hot, it was easy to chip. Yeah. We used to carve out our names.
You can get your name in there. Yeah. Like an M.
You make a heart, or if you had a girlfriend, you put JF, loves, I'm not going to mention any names, to protect the innocent, but it's all good.
There was a time when a little clique of guys were up and down the street playing. We used to play stickball. We used to play handball, box ball. I remember playing when we finally got to play handball with the big kids. We had this word when you were just hitting this pink ball. First of all, it was like one ball for the block.
Spalding.
Spalding. I don't know who had the ball.
We had Rocco's Wall. We used to play handball on Rocco's Wall.
Right.
And Joey Muscanero used to have tournaments, world tournaments there. And then we had wiffle ball. If you hit into Frank's lot across the street, it was a home run. You know, it was hysterical.
Designated the street as the outfield. But there was this one time, let's get this out of the way. There was one time when the kids were all playing on the street. My father used to say to us all the time, you leave this stoop, I'm going to knock the shit out of you. He would say that. It was okay for a parent then to threaten the fuck out of their kids to keep them from doing anything stupid. You were petrified.
And even if your father had to threaten me or straighten me out, my father would find out, and then I'd get whacked again.
I remember that. Yeah. What did you do that so-and-so's father had to crack you in the head? And then you say, nah, he didn't. Then he'd crack you in the head, too.
Yeah.
He didn't go call the other guy and say, why you hitting my kids?
Mr. Romano, Jerry Romano, I used to be a professional fighter. We're going to get into that later, but Jerry Romano was a big guy, bigger than me than I am now. And he used to try to park his truck in his lot, and I used to block it when I was a kid because his two sons, Vinny and Joey, they always used to mess with me because they were older kids, you know, so I'd get even with the old man. So he got out of the truck, and he couldn't move that well, and I'm boxing him in the middle of the street. Next thing you know, I'm hitting him in the belly. Next thing you know, he steps on my foot. I couldn't go anywhere. I was done. He opened his huge hand, slapped me on the side of my head. I had a welt mark on the side of my head for a week.
That a good old days.
Yeah.
Look at the size of your hands now.
And then get home and get whacked. The belt came out and you got whacked from your parents.
Yep, the belt.
Yep.
Don't make me take off the belt. But let's shake the tree on this one, because you ever notice sometimes in your life you got these memories that just are stuck, whereas there are other things that you vaguely remember. Could be right around the same time. Somebody could say to you, hey, remember when you and me were over here and we were talking? I'm like, no, I don't remember that. But they remember it so specifically.
I remember a lot. I got hit in the head a lot, but I remember a lot.
But there's always that one or two memories, or maybe a lot of memories, that stick out in your head that you just can't forget. So here's my point of view of this particular story. To the left of my building was our best friends, the Good family. The Good family had more kids than an orphanage.
The mother's name was Jeannie Good.
Right, and the father?
Her name, what Good was an Italian name, but the mother was Mealy. And Chucky Good was our best friend growing up.
Okay, so Chucky was the oldest.
Yeah.
And then there was...
Regina.
Gina?
Regina.
Oh, Regina.
Right.
After Chucky?
Yeah, Regina. And then you had...
John,
and then I think it was Gary. I don't remember.
They had a lot of kids, but at this particular time, I think there was only 3 when this happened.
Yeah, maybe 4.
4?
Yeah.
Regina. Anyway.
Mrs. Good was always pregnant.
She was always pregnant.
And always laughing with it. She was a great mom. She was the best.
There's so many kids.
Yeah.
But I remember this one particular time, people would go up and down this block very fast, and all the kids were warned not to sit on the parked cars. Don't ever sit on the parked car. But for some reason or other, there was nothing to do. sometimes in the summer, the only thing you could do was open up the Johnny Pump and the kids would stand in the puddle and the water would shoot up in the air. But what kind of an activity is that for a kid? However, we were so fucking happy. It seemed like the world was...
We didn't need a swimming pool.
Yeah, we were happy.
We would get the monkey wrench, open up the front of the thing, open up the top, the water would gush out, and then we were either holding it with our hands or sticking our little asses in front, holding the side, shooting the water across the street, probably hitting the house across the street, and they would scream that they're getting water in the basement.
Well, here's my memory of this particular sad incident. It's just stuck in your head for the rest of your life. You ready? So we're sitting on the stoop. I think my brother Anthony was there, or maybe he was a little too young. You figure I couldn't have been more than 6 years old because we still lived in the city.
Yep.
Didn't move out till I was 7, 6, 5 or 6. You got your memories. You got your wits about you. You know where to hang out, where not to hang out. So I'm sitting there with my brother Paul. I think we were wearing Cub Scout jackets because we were in the Cub Scouts with the little blue uniforms, right?
Yeah.
And my father was saying that day, don't go off the stoop. Don't go off the stoop. You better be here when I get back. Make sure you're here when I get back. And mind you, people who lived in the buildings looked out the window. So if you looked up, people were looking down at you.
Everybody,
they knew where you were.
On the constant surveillance.
Yeah, the police.
That's it. They what?
The family was all looking out the window, so everybody knew everybody.
Mary, your kid's outside. He's running in the street. They come outside, you're done.
Well, I remember Chucky and his brother John were on their stoop, but they didn't have a stoop like we did. They had a basement stoop. The stairs came up this way. Little John at the time was sitting on a car, a parked car, and everybody kept saying, get off the car, get off the car. Now, he had to have been 4?
Yeah.
4 years old? How could he have been any older? And Chucky was probably 7 or 8. He was a year or two older than me, like my brother Paul. You guys were all the same age. And all of a sudden, the kids are playing just a little bit, and you hear thump.
He went off the other side of the car.
Oh, it was the sickest noise you ever heard in your life.
He went up, came down.
In the street. He got hit by a car that was going down the block. It sounded like a baseball bat cracked a pumpkin.
Yeah.
That thump. You remember? It's so funny. I can still remember wanting to go,
yeah,
because you knew it was a kid that got hit, but you didn't see it. You just heard it. And the next thing you heard, that I heard, was his brother Chucky screaming, "That's my brother!
Yeah.
My brother! That's my brother!" And all hell broke loose. I never really saw the kid.
That's why I started making tracks down the block to see what happened. And it was unbelievable. Just Johnny's okay. But he was never right after that. After he got hit by the car, but he was doing all right.
I want to say this. All I remember is my father coming outside and cracking me and my brother in the head saying, get in the fucking house.
Get out.
Get in the fucking house. Get in the fucking house. Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell you? I'm like, Dad, we're not the ones that got hit by the car.
That doesn't matter.
That's okay. We got our fucking asses kicked.
And you moved, I think, the next week.
No. Soon after. I was only in 2nd grade. What happened the next day? Do you know? Like, what exactly happened to the guy in the car?
I don't know. We have to ask Chucky. We have to find out. I don't think he knows.
What happened? Did that guy get arrested? Was he at fault? Was Johnny at fault? What happened?
I was hit by a car on Sip Avenue.
Oh, is that right?
When I was 6 or 7 years old.
Holy shit.
Yeah, my cousin was doing a paper route. He left me on the corner of Bryant and Sip Avenue. And he left me there for a long time. He was doing the dead end block. I must have got nervous or whatever. I ran into the street. Bink. Now I remember waking up in the hospital.
No shit.
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Well, we don't know what happened, but this guy John, or John that we called him, was just never really right again. Is he still...
Yeah, still alive.
I saw him a few times later. He got married. Yeah. Everything all right?
Yeah, I guess.
Does he have kids and stuff?
No, I don't think so, no.
All right. Well,
let's change the topic.
Also, no, these topics are good to let people listen to because it brings back memories to the good old days and also a time where people made shit up. Do you remember there was a car or a truck for anything you wanted? There was a truck.
Tony's Produce came down the street. He had all the produce. He had a microphone, ripe tomatoes, cucumbers, corn. He'd make all the announcements. Then all the women would come out in their sundresses or whatever else like that, house dresses. They were all surrounding, picking fresh fruit and out of the back of the truck. Yeah, and then we had...
Makes you wonder, was any of this legal? Like, could they do that today?
And early in the morning, we used to get woken up by the meat guy. He's going around, and I found out recently that he used to get all the stuff for nothing because it was all the stuff they couldn't sell, like the goblet salad, the liver, the kidneys, and everything. And they used to take it, and there was no refrigerated trucks. They had ice in bins with the meat in it, and people came and they bought it, and no one ever got sick. Believe it or not.
Isn't that amazing?
Amazing.
I remember watermelon. Yeah. My mother would go, it's not in the right season. That meant you can't afford it. Biangaline, the guy who sharpened your knives, and then every once in a while, a guy had some kind of sawed-off high school truck where there was a roller coaster inside it.
No, the amusement rides. There's 3 trucks that went around. One was a merry-go-round. It had 3 cages. It went a merry-go-round. The other one was called the whip. It went around in circles, in an oblong circle, and you got whipped around this corner. And then you had the half a moon. Would go up and down. Those trucks used to travel around together all the time, together. And then, it was like like I said, we had everything. We didn't need anything. We didn't need to go to the shore. We had rides that come down our block.
It makes you wonder, though, what was legal? Who made that thing?
Yeah.
If anybody went down the street today with one of those trucks, they had to have been, they'd get arrested.
Yeah.
And you're in that truck, and I felt like when you got off, you smelled like grease and fire. You're like,
and gas.
Bang,
and gas,
bang.
yeah.
Like gas.
And then the half a moon is not like all bolted in right. It's going, yeah.
Fucking nuts.
Crazy. Then we had you had your Mr. Softy, you had your Good Humor, you had even Snow White. There was a little truck that's coming around, Snow White. There's three ice cream trucks. What else we have?
I remember the ice cream truck. It was when he'd come down the street with that music playing. He was screaming up the, "Mom, throw down some money!"
Yeah, it's Mr. Softy. We're gonna miss it.
And she would roll up the money in a napkin. Boing.
Yeah.
Get one for your friends.
Yeah. Here's $1. Get 4 of them.
Most everybody in this area went to the local school, which was Catholic.
Our Lady of Mount Carmel.
Our Lady of Mount Carmel. I remember when I was going there, it was petrifying because we all dressed the same. The nuns would beat the living shit out of you if you did something wrong.
Sister Marie.
I had Sister Nicolina.
We would if you were in church and you were kneeling, and if your buttocks touched the back of the chair, whack. You had to be upright. I remember that.
If you were stupid, you got your ass kicked. There was no such thing as ADHD or any kind of acronym or anything. You did something bad, you got the living shit knocked out of you.
At lunchtime, if you acted up on the playground, you got put on the fence.
Get against the fence. And guess who put you against the fence? Your friends.
They were all like high and mighty. They had the strip. I'm a safety officer. You've been running in the playground. Get on the fence. Like, fuck you.
And there was a place on the corner to get gum.
We went to Catholic school. We couldn't say fuck you. But we said it anyway.
I got out of, my kindergarten teacher was Miss McCorney. I actually remembered his shit. She had false teeth and they would move. They would scare the shit out of you. But Miss McCorney was my father's kindergarten teacher. You can imagine how old she was when I got her. And it was petrifying. Then in first grade, second grade, Mount Carmel, you're wearing your uniform. My brother Paul and I looked so much alike, everybody thought we were twins.
I thought you were twins when I first
Yeah, most people thought we were twins, but because of being 15 months apart, you would end up looking alike. But, so then you graduated Mount Carmel?
Yeah, I graduated Mount Carmel, and then I went to St. Anthony's. We were known for basketball. They used to pump out basketball players. And my brother was a great basketball player, Richie. and he won a Division III title, NCAA title, in Hutchinson, Kansas, and they all thought I was going to follow in his footsteps. So I played freshman, I played JV in St. Anthony's, and Coach Hurley was the best coach you possibly have, but he'd actually scare the shit out of you. He would yell at you, scream at you, beads of sweat would hit your face, and like, thank God I was never put in that situation. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't want to be there. I didn't want to play ball at all. I wanted to fight. That's all I wanted to do was fight.
Well, when did that really start then? Because you went on to be a pretty well-known boxer. So tell us about when that career started. Like, how old were you?
I was, my mom was dying of cancer. And, she was misdiagnosed. First they thought it was, I forget what the hell they said it was. They were just aching her bones or whatever else. And then later on they found out it was cancer. So I'm a young kid and I'm just dealing with my mom being sick, and I'm hitting the bags, taking all my anger out on her, hitting the bags and everything, And some people looked at me, hey, you're pretty good. We used to play basketball at the Jewish Y. I found out I was staying down there and playing defense. This guy, John Henry, coming down the court. He was making all his moves. I didn't know what to do, so I ducked. He ran into me, and when I came up, he went flying. So I got a technical. I got thrown out. I went up to the boxing gym, and that's when I learned. This old guy, Mr. Kipper, took me in, started teaching me how to hit the heavy bag. This other guy, Doug Sandlaufer, took me in. Then they went to Bufano's. Now, we knew Bufano because he lived on our block. I never knew Dominic had a boxing gym, And his brother, remember Rocco Bufano?
If this is the Bufano family where one of them owned a drugstore, there was a lot of Bufanos. My father was close to a guy they called Johnny Bufano.
Well, I don't know him. Maybe I do. I don't. But I knew they had the furniture store, right? Remember the furniture store?
Okay, yeah.
That was across the street from Mount Carmel School. And so I went to Dominic Bufano's, and then I started fighting. I learned how to fight.
How old were you?
15, 16 years old. And my mother didn't want me to go to the gym. She was good friends with Dominic's wife, Margaret, and she told Margaret, I don't want my son learning how to fight. He let me still go to the gym because I was pretty good, and they said, they just let me train.
So at 15 years old, you start training as a boxer.
Yeah.
And then when did it start becoming a thing that you really wanted to do and started pursuing?
I started fighting amateur fights at 15, 16, 17, 18. I went to the gloves when I was 19. I won the Golden Gloves at 19. My mom passed, though, when I was 16. So that was a big setback. But I came about, and I lived on my own for a long time. I was living with my siblings, but when I was 18 years old, when I graduated high school, I couldn't graduate from St. Anthony's because I had to transfer when my mom died to where my sister lived in Old Bridge at Madison Central High School, and I did a half a year there and then graduated from there. But I still stayed in touch. I went to both proms, had a great time. And, it was a rough life.
It definitely can be, especially city kids. And when a parent dies that young.
Yeah.
There's just your brother and your sister, right? Three of you?
There's four of us. There's my two sisters and my one brother.
Where are they all
They were
now?
all older. Richie's still in Jersey City. My sister Elise is in Long Branch. And my sister Pat is in Point Pleasant Beach.
So he's still in Jersey City?
Yeah.
Wow.
Loves it. I'll never leave.
A whole different ballgame
now.
I
think Florida, that's where they had anything this year.
Right. Everybody leaves Jersey City and they move to Delray Beach and Fort Lauderdale.
And where we grew up, we had a bunch of wise guys. And we had 3 bars. We had Carmine's, we had the Middle Bar, and we had the Winner's Circle, which turned into Montucci's Sports Bar. And that was just, it was mayhem. It was crazy. It was a great time.
It was a lot of fun to go to a pool hall and shoot a game of pool with your friends. My uncle used to belong to the LaSalle Club. We used to think God knows what's going on in there. Where's Uncle Tommy? He's at the LaSalle Club. Can we go? Nah,
No,
you can't.
they're all playing cards. They're all,
you can't go in there.
no kids allowed.
Yeah. How old when you stopped boxing?
When I stopped? 28.
Did you have to stop?
Yeah, that's when I was going to have my first fight in Madison Square Garden. I was on an undercard. I don't even know. It was a big undercard, too. And they were putting me right before the main event. And when I went for the test, New York was the only state that had the CAT scan. So when I did the CAT scan, they found there was spots in front of my brain. And they told me I had to stop fighting.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so, but what I had, you know what? I used to fight everybody. I mean, my record is 8-1. I had one draw, and had like 5 or 6 knockouts. I forget what it was. It was a good record, but I fought basically no big names when I fought, but in the gym, I sparred world champs. I sparred everybody. I mean, Vito Antuofermo, Buddy McGirt. I used to spar because I was like a super middleweight, 168. So I used to fight from lightweight or heavyweight. I would fight everybody. I was right in the middle, you know, and even middleweight. Doug DeWitt, he was a world champion. Vito Antuofermo, he was a world champion. He lost to Marvin Hagler. I sparred with him. I sparred with Andrew Galata. At the end of when my career was over, they called me back to spar with Andrew Galata because I used to fight like Tyson. And I sparred him. Wound up knocking him out in the first round. And they paid me $1,000 a week not to show up at the gym.
No shit. No shit.
Yeah.
So is that who? Can you say who would say, "Hey, here's $1,000, go away"?
The management.
Oh, I thought you were.
No, the managers.
No shit.
They said stay away because he was Gabados in the head. That guy. He wasn't all there.
Right.
You know. So I stayed away.
Wow.
You know.
So when you
can we show the picture? Can we show the picture?
Yeah, man. Yeah. When you were boxing, I mean, was this going to be like your income? Like, did you have to work another job?
No, that's not. That's all I did.
Beautiful, man.
Right?
You look great.
I wrote a book called "The Tough Guys Call Me Mister." The news articles, because I used to fight like Marciano. They used to call me a Freda was a miniature Marciano. And, yeah. The book is doing very well. It's getting great reviews, you know.
Well, let's go ahead and talk about that because you are a great writer. I've read a lot of the stuff when you write about the neighborhood that we just got done talking about.
Right.
I see the neighborhood reading what you write. I mean, you really got a knack for writing.
Thank you.
Me, I can make shit up, but I don't write it down. I just regurgitate it. Reading your writing.
One of the best comedians ever.
And
he's the hardest working dude I ever knew. Swear to God. I don't know how he does it every day. God bless him.
Boom.
That's it. The fighter, the jokester, the storyteller.
Right. Because you did some time doing some stand-up.
Yep.
And not only did he do stand-up, yes, he opened for me a couple times. And I think we were in Bayonne. I don't remember. Bayonne, maybe Jersey City.
I actually won a contest. And they said, you could go last. Mike will open for you. I said, I ain't going. We're going to perform, Mike.
I don't care. I'll open for you.
No way.
I ain't going down. I ain't going down.
Mikey was the best. He's always the best, man. Come on.
Not only is he funny, not only is he a great boxer, storyteller, but he's an actor, too. So when we were doing my web series, Make America Italian Again, one of the #1 scenes was called The Pizza Guy. And Johnny stars in The Pizza Guy. It's one of the funniest episodes, if not the funniest episode.
It's a hitman.
We played a hitman.
Sunglasses, yeah.
But let me tell this little bit of story. It was an improv. Most people thought we were going on a script. The actual scene won best script in a film festival. When I got the award, I said we didn't write it. We just kind of fucked around. But there's a scene where the pizza guy infiltrates our system by bringing some pizza, and our question is, how did he know where we were? And so Johnny grabs him, and I guess
throw him through the door.
The poor little, he's not even little, he's our age, but he just looks like a little kid, Jake Davis.
He looks young. Great guy, too.
Great
I felt so bad for him because we had to do the take like a few times, and I was like beating on him. I was like, holy shit. And I think at the last time he said, hey, man, come on,
And it's in the it's actually in the show because we did it a bunch of different times.
We were trying to be authentic.
Finally, he grabbed this actor, Jay Davis, so hard when he picked him up and pushed him through the door. The guy turns around and goes, come on, man.
Yeah, and he was being serious, but, we just played it out.
Easy, man, easy. And then we do the scene, and he goes, oh, you got to put him in the dollhouse. And he picked him up again. He's like, ow!
From the kitchen, through the yard, into the dollhouse. Shut up.
And then...
Ange was good, too.
Angelo
Angelo
Sarukis.
Yeah, he was great.
It's nice that you make friends with all these guys on the set because by the time we're done, you feel like you're really close. That's what happens when you're...
What was the other kid's name?
Well, it was Mark Marino, Angelo Sarukis, Armando Sante's cousin, Marco Asante. Marco.
He's a gem. That kid's a good kid.
Yeah.
Love that kid. Good. He's always on Facebook with his mom. With his mom.
Yeah, right? Yeah, that's something what he does.
Good kid.
And then, that was all done at a very famous house in Studio City, California called the Enchanted Manor, which is owned by Georgia Durante. You remember Georgia and the daughter?
I stay in touch with her.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I text her all the time.
Oh, wow.
She might be putting my book on every platform that she has.
Well, I'm going to put it on every platform. We're going to do everything and anything we can to make people read this book and enjoy it because he's a great writer. I'm not just saying that because we're friends from back in the day. If you like history, if you like listening and learning about the way things used to be at a time long gone, like it's almost like watching the Dead End Kids or the Bowery Boys or Black and White.
It goes through my life, my life, but everything, all the friendships that we had, the camaraderie we had, everything that we dealt with, everything I dealt with personally with my mom, everything, I brought it all together, and everybody absolutely loved it. It was. I'm getting great reviews. People I don't even know are writing great reviews, long reviews. I sent them to you, right? They were. It was unbelievable.
I'm going to review it. I'm going to put it out. I'm going to blast it. I'm going to publicize it. I can't wait to take a look at the book. And ladies and gentlemen, I got to be honest. I think this would make a great movie. I mean, I'm a little too young to play the role of Johnny.
PJ's got the...
PJ Leonard.
PJ Leonard.
Come on, man.
He's doing the short film with my son.
Is he?
We're doing a short film. One of the scenes is at the middle bar when I was 15 years old, coming home from the gym, and then Nardone brothers had an argument with this gentleman, and they were going back and forth, and he asked me if I had a couple of pairs of boxing gloves. I said, I have one. I have another pair at my house. He goes, go up to the house and get it. I come back down, and I thought Joey, the twin, was going to fight the guy. And they said, no, you fight the guy. And they told the kid, I don't know what it was, they owed him money or something. He goes, if you beat this 15-year-old kid, I'll give you the money. If you don't beat him, scram. Well, so be it. Like you said, all the people came out of the windows. Traffic is going down the block slow. And I don't know if you remember Catarella's Deli. Not Deli, Dairy. They had a big white wall on Logan Avenue. They used to park all the trucks back there.
Right.
For the dairy, the Italian ices and everything.
Yeah.
And we fought in front of that wall. And then I was playing around with him because I didn't want to hurt him, And then next thing you know, they were getting on me. So I hit him with like a 3-4 punch combination, knocked him down, and he took the gloves off and ran away. And then I get a $20 bill in the pocket. I get hamburger, hot dogs, whatever I want. Birch beer was great.
Birch beer.
That's when it was on tap.
Yeah, right. I never liked birch beer when you had root beer that outdid the birch beer.
Birch beer and what do you call it? But the birch beer was red. I remember the root beer was brown.
You mentioned Italian ices.
No.
Now I remember going down the other end, and there was a kid with red hair. His family sold Italian ice. Was that Anthony Fogno? Anthony Mazzola. Who was Tough Toe?
Anthony Grillo.
Why'd they call him Tough Toe? Because he was a tough guy, right?
He was a little tough kid. He always just caused trouble all the time.
I remember there was a guy named Tough Toe.
And you know what?
That was his nickname.
I met him years ago, and I'm telling you, he was small. He was like a Napoleon. I think that was his problem because he was a little kid. He had an attitude problem. But he scared the shit out of me because at that time I was what 4 or 5 years old. He was older than me, and he beat the shit out of me all the time.
There was Skippy Vaccaro. I remember Jay Liner.
Chucky Good.
These are all guys on this particular block.
Robert Miller.
Yeah. But there was a guy with red hair. He had a sister with red hair. And I could have sworn they were the ones that sold the lemon ice, and lemon ice back in the day was the greatest thing.
Actually, Frank sold the lemon ice by your house. Remember, he had the little lemon ice stand by the house, and they used to sell you the pistachios and the chichi beans, and he used to put it in
chichi beans,
and he used to put them in a shot glass, and it was a 25 cents a shot glass, whatever you wanted, pistachios or whatever you want. Yeah,
pistachios. He went home with the red fingers.
Yeah, fingers all the time. They used to dye the pistachios with red dye.
I wonder why.
I have no idea.
It was all over you.
I have no
pistachios,
idea.
yes, the shot glass of pistachios. Yeah. And then there was the lemon ice. You can get lemon, you can get chocolate, and yum yum.
Yum yum.
Which was like yellow.
We had Derek down the street. Derek used to get yum yum. He loved yum yum.
Remember that?
Yep.
Oh, man. And then when you were done having your Italian ice, in the bottom was like, it looked like oil.
Oh, and I got
the juice. And then you ate the cone. Remember you ate, it was like a little white cup.
It's white paper.
It was like white paper.
You
sucked on it. And you chewed it.
And you chewed like it was bubble gum afterwards. Then you spit it out.
Yeah.
But I got to mention Dominic Rio. He was one of us too. Dominic Rio was a little younger, but he lived right across the street from me. He was like actually my first sparring partner when we were kids. He's in the book. I got everybody in the book, man. It's great.
Am I in the book?
It sends it home. I had you in the book with the thing, but I don't know if it made. I don't know because I had so many pages. I had to cut stuff out.
I could imagine.
You know, I had like
you got to keep it focused
pages.
On your life. I remember we would cross the street, and that's where we played football.
The rocks.
On rocks.
I'm not talking like pebbles. I'm talking rocks.
Big fucking rocks.
And in the middle of the fucking field, we had a fucking sewer plate.
Yeah.
And you're doing like down and in or whatever, or cross pattern. Then you trip on that. Then you land on the rocks. Your fucking legs all up. We used to play Wales Avenue, Wright Avenue. Each block had a team, and we'd play.
Imagine that.
Yeah.
So organized somehow, yet there was nobody organizing us.
No, we just did it on our own.
Yeah, you went over around that street like...
Then it was basketball. We played each block had basketball teams.
I remember, though, you did have that threat in your mind. You stay on this block. You go around the corner, you're never going to make it back.
No, not necessarily. It was.
There was an area my father used to say all the time.
No, because you're from Wallace Avenue, get off our block. That's what they used to say. But it was more so if you went out of the section, if you went to the Heights, or if you were from Marion, you went to the Heights, or you went downtown, or you went to Greenville. There was always these sections, and they all stuck together, and you always had you had to fight for your section, and it was crazy.
Yeah. What was that section though? The projects.
Yeah, the Marion Papinas.
Yeah,
I remember. Projects.
My father used to say all the time, "You ever go near the projects? Don't come back. You're not going to come back.
You might not come back.
You're not going to come back." The projects. That was such a scary word at the time. Projects. What does that mean?
People live in the projects.
They live in the projects. And then you saw a TV series that reminded you of it. That made you think of it. Good Times. Like, is that the projects? And it was.
Yeah.
That was the projects.
I remember
wherever that took place.
If something was happened, the bars used to control everything, make sure everything stayed in check. The people, even the police officers would hang out at the bars. Everything was monitored. Everything was under control. There was no problems. We never had any ladies getting robbed. Everything was cool.
Yeah,
and like I said, it was all we knew. It was all we knew.
That's all you needed to know was happiness.
We didn't know other towns or anything else. We were kids. Everything we had was in our neighborhood. We didn't need to go anywhere else. You had to get clothes. You went up to the square. You need shoes. You go to the square. You need sneakers. You go to the square. Or Central Avenue. Yeah, that was it. We didn't have to go anywhere.
My entire family lived in the building that we were in. I don't remember strangers being in that building. My Aunt Mary and Uncle Tommy.
When you were there, yes. It was your whole family.
My grandmother, great-grandmother, grandfather, great-grandfather. Everybody was in the building. Isn't that amazing?
And everything smelled great on Sunday.
Ooh.
Everything. The whole neighborhood smelled great. You used to come home from church and walking down a block and you'd smell garlic. Oh, my God. It was incredible. It was a time like no other.
Also, the block was mostly Italian. Let's put it out that way. I mean, there was a lot of Italian people on that block, man.
We had some Burks. We had Good, but Good was Italian.
Yeah.
The mother was Italian. I mean, we had Barnett. We had who else? Fox. We had a couple of names in there that weren't Italian, but they adapt.
And the smell in the hallway of a Sunday, and that hallway with those creaky, cracky stairs going up, and you could smell that pot of gravy in like 5 different apartments.
And you get the meatballs. And when your mother made the meatballs, before they made the sauce, they were fried in the oil, in olive oil. And then she put them on the side before they hit the sauce. Then you're eating them like one by one.
Like little hamburgers.
Leave them. You're not going to have any left for the sauce.
Yeah.
What sauce? It's the gravy. We're making gravy. That's it,
Of course, there's the big debate whether you call it gravy or sauce. We said gravy, but quite honestly, I don't think anybody really gave a shit. I'm at the point where
I don't give a shit right now.
You just invite me over.
It's it. It tastes good. I don't give a shit. And if it tastes like shit, I'm going to tell you. What are you going to do, beat me up?
I remember we would come home with the Italian bread, and my mother would say, "Did you bite the ass of the bread?" "No, Ma, we didn't bite the ass of the bread." And she'd take it out of the sleeve and turn it around and say, "Yes, you did. Don't think you can outsmart your mother."
Yeah, the heel. Yeah,
the heel. We called it the ass.
Yeah.
And then you basically just took the ass of the bread and you dipped it in the gravy when they weren't looking. My mother used to say this all the time: "Don't bite the bread, I'll kill you. I'll kill you." These days you can't say that, but then it was funny.
It was nothing. It was nothing. It was crazy.
"I'll make your father get the belt." We
didn't want that to happen.
No. We had a 2-bedroom, one bathroom, one bathroom. It was a bath, which you took a bath more than, I don't think anybody took a shower. You had a hose.
How many was in your family at the time?
3 tiny kids and my mother and father.
All right. I had 3 adults, like teenagers, my sister, my brother, and my sister Pat, and me. I was like 9.5 difference from must have been a cold night one night, and we had a 2-bedroom apartment. My parents had one, the girls had another one. My brothers and I slept on the couch that pulled open into a bed, but we didn't know any better. We thought everybody lived like that.
You thought you were living large.
Yeah. Everybody lived like that. On the block, there was more people living in smaller apartments than we had. It was amazing how everybody just got along. And all these houses got passed down through the years to the family, and the people used to stay there, and you get generations went by, and we knew the Marinos because our grandparents knew the Marinos. You know, everybody, we all grew up together from ages gone back. Now it's shot. Everybody's gone.
Yeah,
neighborhood is over. It'll never be the same.
No.
And I thought I recaptured it in my book.
All right, let's do that then. So, where are you going, and what are you doing with your world these days? You live down in Tom's River.
Tom's River. I'm looking to make a little movie. I might be going to Florida. I don't know, because my brother will be going to Florida next year. So I'm thinking about that. So I might be renting my house out. I might be selling my house. I don't know where I'm at right now. I don't know if I want to make a commitment of selling the house and then going down there and then I don't like it there and then have to come back. So I'm just...
Here's what you're going to do. Keep your house in New Jersey. You're going to sell your book. You're going to sell your rights to the book. You're going to make millions of dollars. They're going to make your book into a movie. and then you can do whatever you want.
From your mouth to God's
You'll
ears.
have a nice house in Florida for the winter.
Yes.
You'll have your place on the Jersey Shore, and you're going to live long, 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 and then you're going to go on book signings. You're going to make millions of dollars, and then when your movie comes out, The Tough Guys Called Me Mr., starring Mike Marino, we're all going to go to the Oscars.
You're not kidding, man. I tell you, I have the part for you.
Yeah, who?
Dominic Bufano.
Lou Duva.
No, Dominic Bufano, who owned the gym.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, my God. He was the character. He was Chuck Wepner's trainer when he was giving Ali the Maluk and everything.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, that's you. He used to wear those sweaters. Remember those sweaters that they were buttoned down? They had the pockets in the front. And the Tough Guys Called Me Mister.
I love this.
Yeah.
This is really, really great. All right.
And everybody's saying the title's fitting for the book.
Yeah, that looks cool.
I went through a lot of shit.
Yeah, well, it's going to pay off now.
Yep, I hope
go ahead.
so.
Pitch the book, ladies and gentlemen. Tell everybody, Johnny Freda, where they can find you on the internet. And
Amazon.
Where they can go
find Amazon. Book. You read the book. Give me a great review. Hopefully, it's going to be a short film in January or February. And, yeah, that's it, man.
Look at you. Look how trim and slim. Huh?
Yeah, I used to be somebody.
What's it like to get knocked out? You ever get knocked out?
Never got knocked out.
Never got knocked out. You never knocked me down,
right? That's why I got the brain damage. Oh, did I ever tell you?
No.
Jake LaMotta. I met Jake LaMotta.
Oh, yeah?
After one of my amateur fights, he goes, "Kid, do you run?" I won the fight, too. He goes, "Kid, do you run every day?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "How much do you run?" I said, 3 to 5 miles every day. He goes, "What do you want to be? A boxer or a track star?" He goes, "Stay in the ring, box every day. Forget about running. Just keep boxing every day." There's a man that had brain damage.
Well, some true words. Stay in the ring every day, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get going. I want to thank Johnny Freda for coming all the way up from the Jersey Shore to my house here in North Jersey to be part of Live from My Mother's Basement.
And please support Mike in anything he does. And let me tell you something. Great man. Great man.
We're trying.
Yeah.
In fact, watch Johnny in the series Make America Italian Again on my YouTube channel. So one more time, John, tell everybody once again where they can find the book, and maybe you'll autograph it, and hopefully...
Type in the search, Amazon. The Tough Guys Called Me Mister. Not Tough Guys, The Tough Guys Called Me Mister. And it'll come up. You can get a paperback, you can get Kindle, you can get a hardcover, whatever you want. And when I see you, I'll sign the book. I'll do anything for a buck.
There's going to be a book signing somewhere. We got to get going. Thank you, everybody, for watching my show live from my mother's basement. Remember, let's make America Italian again. You don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing. And a big shout out to my producer, Tatiana Blueshell, for always making sure we put on a great podcast. We get great guests, and we keep on going and going every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock exclusively right now on my YouTube channel, which is Mike Marino Live on YouTube. All right? We got to get going. How do I end every single one of my broadcasts? No, we're going to do it. You want to say that? You can. Or remember, you don't know nothing, you don't see nothing, you don't say nothing. But
keep your mouth
shut. Go ahead.
Keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, shut your mouth.
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
Don't worry about nothing. We got it.
Yeah, okay, we're going to be over here. But we do have a saying that we're going to shout out. How do I end every single one of my podcasts? By always saying the same thing with my guest. It's don't take no shit from nobody.
Yep.
You ready?
1, 2, 3. Don't take no shit from nobody.
Hey, folks, thanks for watching Live from My Mother's Basement. I hope you enjoyed the show. And if you did, hit the word like and leave me a really cool comment. You can also subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the future episodes, and you can watch some of the funniest videos on the internet. You can also listen to the show on Spotify or your favorite podcast app.